Hi Rifat, today I am going to show how to integrate Firebase database Unity. Before we get into Unity, we need to configure Firebase app and some database integration and also authentication rules we need to configure. So first of all, I will show what is I done. Here is the feedback panel, and in this panel we have a feedback names and priority 1 to 9 and feedback message. So first we just hit play. Here I am going to add my name, and the priority is 3, and the feedback is awesome. And hit submit. Here the transaction is completed, and then we go into our Firebase database, and in database, real-time database, and in this database we have a game testers database, and the 0 1 2. The 2 is the last thing. Here is my Android iOS. This is my Windows system, so that is showing the OS. This is only a label. You can change that label in that script. So here the code is fetching the OS of the current device and the builder version, which is the Unity Android or Windows or iOS builder version, and the data and time, current data time, and also the device ID, which is the device 9. Device name is the Alienware 15R3 is my device, and the feedback is awesome app and continuing integration, and thank you. String is not formatted correctly because the Firebase is not supporting the new line formatting, string formatting. So slash n or greater than or equal to, that type of symbol not supporting the field, database or any Firebase. So this can be using as a single line. So and the name and the priorities. So this is our wireless testing purpose, and we can delete this database. Okay, this is the last one. So I'm also going to delete this also. Okay, now I show you once again the database, feedback database, at the name, priority. There is some transaction is completed, and the game tester new database root child created, and inside that our first game tester is putting the feedback, here. Now this is the longest string, so that it show double click to show the full length of the database row of the message, and here is the same contents as well. So let me show how to uh, setting up a database into Firebase, and setting up a real-time database, and some rules of the authentication rules. And so let me show how setting up these things in Firebase, and then we can go to the Unity for explain the code how to pushing this data into Firebase. Now we want to create a new project in Firebase and add the app inside that project, and also some database inside that app. So let me start adding a project. Okay, this is a test app 2, and the project ID is test app 2, and the analytic is United States, US Central Cloud Firestone, and leave these as default and accept, and then create this project. Now is creating this project. Okay, it's ready for doing. So inside this test app 2, there are some few things, and we need to configure our app. Right now we are going to create an Android app. So here are iOS app, Android app, and web app. So hitting the Android app, here I typing my bundle identifier of the app. And, which is given in the Unity. So it's optional. We can add this as per the test. Sorry, right, test, and leave this as default, and register a new app. Now a JSON file is created inside this database. This is used for Unity automatically getting the project location. So we will need to drag and drop this file into Unity, download the services. There are a lot more files are there, so that Google Service 3.json, and next is Firebase, adding Firebase SDK. So these are default, and running your app, verifying the installation, check the app communication with our server. We need to uninstall the reinstall the app at the time if any problem getting on this time. So I skipping there, and now it's ready for our database, Firebase database Android app. We can add inside this, we can add more apps inside this project. So we have a lot more projects in, here. So let me show how to adding a new database inside this app. Here is the console. In this console, we need the database. Here is some cloud Firestorm database, and create a database. Now it's getting the security rules. Now the database is ready. There is a cloud Firestorm database. We have a real-time database inside that drop-down list. So we need the real-time database. Okay. Now this is the database area. Now we need to edit some rules. Now the currently read and write rules are false. So nobody can read and write without any authentication. So we need to change this as true now and publish. Now the rules is published and we can read and write. So we can test the run. Read is allowed and now the write is allowed. Oh, okay, then nothing more. Okay, we need this link to our database script. So okay, these are all the Firebase setup. If have any forgot to show anything, we can show it when the script is run. So inside this Unity, we can start from scratch. So I am going to delete these folders and also you see inside this scene, I am going to import my package Firebase feedback form. So here is the Firebase feedback form. Okay, some few graphics and a panel, UA panel, and also a script feedback message. Import this. Okay. Now we need to download the Firebase SDK. So here I'm show you how to um, go document, getting started with the Unity, dynamic link cloud. Let us download the SDK form. So I have already done this. So I am cancel this download and I will show my Firebase SDKs. Here is my Firebase SDKs. Here we need only the database file SDK. The other SDKs are there. So I'm going to import my Firebase SDK, database, real-time database SDK. So we need all these things imported. Okay, in this code, just it and run it back. Okay. I think Unity 2.4 is crashing some several times, so it need to switch to new version or switch back to older version. So here is my app. Okay, now it's ready for our Firebase is ready. We need to drag and drop our Google service into Unity as root folder asset, and here is it. This is our new and this is my old services. So I'm going to delete my old services and rename my new services to that three is now need that three. New services.js. Sorry, the JS extension is JS. Okay, now the project is ready for scripting, and I'm now creating a UI canvas, and inside that canvas drag and drop my preset feedback form. This is the feedback form, and this is the usual things, the feedback images and feedback UI. Text is there, and the input is there, and UI feedback message is here, and close button, and priority text is there, priority input is there, and a feedback manager. In this feedback manager, we have the script of feedback message script. So I double click that message. I will show the Firebase integration script. Here is few calls are here. Firebase database and Firebase into editor and system IO collection generate UIs and the all. And there is some variable declarations, private and public variables are there. These are my variables for builder version, device time, device ID, date and time, and an Android OS, and public variables like name field, feedback field, and a prior, and some strings score and name are here, and these are the Firebase scripts. First, a protected virtual void. In this virtual void, we call the leaderboard, and these are for showing this leaderboard inside the app. So we need no need this. So here I am declaring some text messages, and also the Unity Builder version 9 and the IDs are here. The system device model and system info dot device name for the ID, and the bundle identifier bundle version is here. This script is we done last, and put that script inside the editor. We can increase the builder version. We already have that script on the last refab, and the data type strings are here, data type formatting here. These are default, the commonly used data type formatting. I think no need to explain these things because everybody knows how to formatting these, and an Android OS operating system. This is getting the current device operating system. And here check and fix dependencies sync. Declare starting the Firebase app. And now here is the virtual initialization of Firebase. Here initializing the Firebase database. Here we need to change our database path to here. Currently it's in the Firebase IO. So I need to copy my database from here, copy and put it here. Oh, once again. Okay, this is the new path, and here some start listening. Here the database name game cluster. We can change this name to mm, what you want, and child by score, and these are the Firebase default things. And here delete as default, and here is the leaderboard entry. So this is I added because of if the owner of the app need to show these images inside that app, we can call it back. This is called the callback script. So if you don't want this, you can leave as default. And there is some virtual void update. So this is the app skipping. If you don't want, you can just comment it. And here I declare a debug log, which is all the messages inside the console. And here is the transaction, add score transaction, mutable data. Here the game tester mutable value is here, and inside that we add all the child data inside that game tester. And now these are only default, and now the dictionary score map is here. This score map is adding the score and the label of the database are here these, and the strings are here these, and the priority is the score, and the name is name, and feedback is the message, and device ID the all are default. And here is the our score script for adding the pushing our data into database. This here I is converting into the score into a into parsing, and the field which is the input field. We get the string, and it parts into that to and push back to database. Here is the name. No need to push back this name as in the parser. So here is the message, and these are the input field. And now the debug log is here. That is for maybe we can change this to valid name. This when we check this for the invalid name and debug log string format. This is adding the data inside that mm, database. The all the strings are here and converted to string, and database reference. It's game tester database reference, and finally the completion is here. Run and add score data. We continue. So these are the scripts, and some few scripts are no need right now, but I am adding for the futuristic use. So you just more seriously about here the score map, the new score map, how to add the score map, and adding score into the database. These two are the main important thing, and this is also important transaction, add one transaction, and leave the all other things at default. And this is my code, and here we need to add our bundle identifier. Okay, the bundle identifier is automatically changed to app 2, which is the error message is called, and I fixed it at the later time. And Firebase data unity app is company name, and Firebase. Yes. uh, And here we have a important content script running version is .NET 3.0, 3.5, because the Firebase only supports .NET 3.5, and the script API compatibility level is .NET 2.0, because of the Firebase is supporting these two, else it is getting errors. So these things are leave it back as default, and this is my setup. You can just drag and drop, only no need to worried about that script, and other things all are here, the feedback form, and here is it. I will show once again our new app is running or not. This Firebase app is initializing and receiving the value from the user. So now priority one, and the feedback is good or crashing gameplay or something like that, and submit it. The transaction is completed. We are working, no problem. So here is the game tester database created, and inside that the child 0 is first attempt is here, and here is the all the other things. OS is Windows 10 64-bit, and the builder version is 2.1.1, and date and time, desktop ID, and the machine 9, and the feedback is now, and the name and the priority. And I will check my player settings, and the version is 2.0.1, and then push it once again. Firebase is okay. Now, the name and the priority is 5. Feedback is just change the version, and 2.0.1. one. Yes. Now the second database is created, and the same the builder version is changes here, and so the app manager or owner can easily identify which version is the game tester tested. Right now the 2.0, and the data time when is done, and the device, which device is he using, and no needed device ID, but we also fetch that data from the game tester, and the device name, which device is used, and the feedback. What is this feedback? Feedback is here. Just the builder version and the version database. So that game tester 9 and the prior 5. So here I am going to complete my video, and I will just upload this prefab into our GitHub panel, and hope you can understand this. And if you have any questions, please bring me back. Thank you for now.